Well, I thought I was over, or done. Done with the engine. Got looking at the suspension and decided to pull it out, which is a real challenge, pain. But it's out. I've had it out for a week and a half now. I've been waiting for different parts for it. But I'm glad I did. Found a couple bearings that were bad. And so that gave me time to take it completely apart and refurbish it. So this is it. I just put it back together today. And what I did was take all of the steel bolts out and put them in. Right there's all the steel bolts. Well, that's some of them. And I put stainless steel bolts with stainless steel nylock nuts on everything. I know it's a bit overkill. It's lasted 40 years the way it was, and the bolts come off pretty easy. I mean, some of them had some rust on them, like that one there. But for the most part, I mean, you can see these weren't too badly corroded. You can see a lot of the Loctite on these. So those were like the wheels here. I put Loctite on those. But anyway, both of these wheels, the bearings were bad. And these wheels go up and push the track up. So they had not had any attention or service in a long time. But the rest of the wheels, the bearings are great. I mean, it's like they've been rebuilt. My center shock was bad, so we bought a new shock. I had to get a new end here, which this came from a gentleman in Alaska. And I thank him so much for that, because these are obsolete parts. So eBay saved me again. But everything has got stainless steel, you can see. And then I used the KBS satin black paint, along with some graphite. Let me show you. See if I can get this shaft down here. Graphite paint. Now it kind of messed me up a little bit because when you paint it on, it creates too thick a finish. So on tight clearances, it just wouldn't work. But it's a graphite paint that will obviously aid in lubrication, especially in these areas where the nylon is at. And now areas like up in here, there's a grease zerk right there. Down here, there's a grease zerk here, so those will be filled with the low temperature grease that I have. But other than that, you know, everything else was pretty good. Took me a while, but I cleaned up the rails. You know, I took a wire brush to them and got a lot of the corrosion off. I mean, it wasn't bad. This whole suspension really wasn't bad. Look at the wear. Here, this is crazy. This is from the past. That's from this spring here, popping off of this roller and landing right there. It had actually wore holes through these pipes. I had to fill them in with weld. I got new rollers on each side, obviously, and so they're set in place, and these are a little bit better than the old ones because they've got a higher edge on them. So these are basically the newer style. But anyway, that's what we're doing. So now I've got it finally all assembled, and what I am going to do is attempt to get that back underneath there. And that's always fun. So yeah, I'll bring it back when I get her done. Well, there you have it. The suspension is in place, and oh, what a fun job that was. It's one of the tougher ones. Yeah, there's a spring right there in the back. And you can see there's two sets of bolts right right there in the tunnel, right up there. And there's a spring. You can see it kind of hanging down, just a smidgen right there. But anyway, that's the tail end. It goes back on the slider on the or shaft around that wheel. And then the other end, there's a plastic deal that goes up behind that the other end of the spring rests on. Well, yeah, it's a nice idea, but it's a pain to get it up on that thing. It's like, how do you do that? Well, I had to take a jack with a 2x4, and anyway, I had to get on the front of that spring and then jack it up. Of course, the sled was up in the air on that engine hoist, and had to raise it up high enough that I could get it up, and then I could slide that piece of plastic in there and then stick a bolt through it with a nut, and then lower the jack down onto that plastic piece so that you know, it was in place. That was a challenge. I didn't know how to do that, but anyway, we got her all in there and it's all adjusted. And what we're going to do now is we're going to fire it up, and I'm going to take it out here since we have such a beautiful day. I haven't had any rain for quite a while, so the ground is relatively firm, and she's going up on the trailer. I'll shut the gas off then, and I'll run it. Carburetor's dry, and it's already got some fuel stabilizer in it, and it's running non-ethanol gas, and so it should be good. Then the Classic's going to come off, and I've got to detail it. I've got to clean it all up. It's got dirt and stuff all over it. Take a look at these scratchers. I put these things on. I've never used them. Look at how rusted they are. That's crazy. Cheapers. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I got those for heading up north riding trails, but obviously it didn't happen this year. Hopefully next year. Maybe this stupid pandemic will be done with. But we're going to get that done and then put it back up on the trailer, and we'll be done for the summer with snowmobiles. Then we're back on the truck. We're going to get busy on this, and I want to go through and check all my timing, and I got a feeling that I did that wrong. That's why it's not popping. But anyway, I watched a nice video on YouTube of an individual with a little bit later engine than this one. This is a 207. He had a 216, I believe it was, that he did the valves on it, and so the valve lash, and so, and you know, got him, showed how to do it. So anyway, I'm going to do that, and we'll get it hopefully running. That's the goal right now. So, but anyway, I thank everyone for following along, and with the Scorpion Sidewinder series here, and she's ready to go. Yep, I'm not going to even clean her up because I wrote it one time and blew it up, so I haven't really done anything to get it cruddy. So it's just been sitting in the shop here for about a month, and so anyway, thanks for watching, guys and gals, and bring you back for another adventure on the 36 Chevy pickup.